Hello class, and welcome to Notes 3.1 Comparing Decimals. Notice our California standard is NS 1.1. You will notice this is a pretty easy review topic, just comparing decimals, making sure that you're paying attention to those. One thing that you do want to make sure that you keep in mind is to watch out for the negatives. Again, that's kind of a new little monkey wrench that might make things a little tougher. Our only vocabulary word for today is place value, a digit's position in a decimal number relative to the decimal point. So, of course, this is review, hundreds, tens, ones, those are nice and easy. The places where you might be making mistakes is after the decimal there is no oneth place. Remember, we go directly to tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, and so on. Whenever you're working with decimals, if you end up with a number that's going past the 10,000ths place and just seems to be going on and on, you can always stop it at the round off at the 10,000ths place. You don't need to go past there. Now if it's a repeating decimal, of course you use the line and you stop with the last repeating digit. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the first teacher example. Compare the decimals 6 and 5/10ths and 6 and 75/100ths. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. First, we're looking for the first place where they're different. Okay, so if I take a look here, notice I've circled the 6's. They both have a 6 in the ones place, so that's fine. We get to the tenths place right after the decimal. One has a 5, one has a 7. Notice I've crossed out this 5. And the reason that we can cross that out is because it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter what's there. We could have a million digits there. What matters is the 7 and the 5 in the tenths place. So now we're simply comparing which one's larger. Of course, 5 is less than 7, so therefore 6 and 5/10ths is less than 6 and 75/100ths. Okay, nice and simple. These shouldn't be too hard, but again, people tend to overthink them, so just be careful of that. Go ahead and take a look at our first student practice problems, 1, 2, and 3. Be careful in number 3. We do have negatives. Remember, negatives are backwards, so be careful. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, press play when you're ready to see the answers. Okay, let's take a look real quick. Here we look at the ones place, they both have a 3. Tenths place, they both have a 4, so we need to go on to the hundredths place. Here we have an 8. Over here we have nothing, which is the same thing, of course, as 0. As we know, 8 is larger than 0, so we use a greater than sign. On problem number 2, we have a 6 in the ones place. Now, this is again another place for mistakes. This one does end with a 5, which people tend to think that it makes it the larger number. But remember, we don't care about the last digit. All we care about is the first place where they're different, which is the tenths place. Here we have a 3 and a 5. Of course, 3 is less than 5, so we use the less than sign. Now number 3, hopefully you got this one right, didn't let it stump you. We're looking at the first place where they're different. We go to the hundredths place. This one here has a 5, this one has a 0. As we know, 5 is greater than 0. However, these are negatives, which mean we're looking for the ones that's closer to 0. So, -9 and 1/10 is actually closer to 0, so that is the larger number. Okay, so hopefully you were able to persevere on that one. Okay, let's take a look at our next teacher example. Order these numbers from least to greatest. We've got some decimals, some negatives, and positives. Now go ahead and place these on the number line in order. One thing I do want you to be careful of is, remember, any negatives, you know right away they are smaller than all positives. So right away you need these two need to be the smallest numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and place those on the number line now. Okay, taking a look now, you can see the numbers have been placed on the number line where about they would fit in. Notice it's not exact, but that's not quite important. Now that I have the numbers on the number line, I know that this is the order the numbers are going to be from least to greatest. So -1 and 2/10ths, -6/10ths, 4/10ths, 65/100ths, and 1 and 25/100ths. Okay, let's go ahead and have you try some out. Now notice these are a little trickier. We have the line, which we know means a repeating decimal, so that's going to be 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, going on forever. We also have absolute value lines, which remember anything inside this magic box is automatically positive. And we have some fractions, so you want to watch out for these fractions. Make sure you turn them into decimals first so that you can compare them. Okay, go ahead and pause the video, press play when you're ready to see the answers. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. In order, we know obviously our negative is going to be our smallest, then the digit with the 3 in the tens place, then the 4 is in the tens place. Notice this one has a 4 in the tens place and stops, where this one also has a 4 in the hundreds place, thousands place, 10,000s place, and so on. Number 5, again, we start with our negatives first. This has a 5 in the tens place, where this has a 2. This one's farther from 0, so this comes first. Negative 52 hundredths, negative 2 tenths, and then taking a look at our next two, notice the 2 is smaller than the 4, so 25 hundredths, and then 4 tenths is our largest digit there. Okay, number 6, now again, as I warned you, you need to turn these fractions into decimals and deal with these absolute values before you can work with them. So if you take a look here, you will notice that I have rewritten them so that they're all decimals, and then I went back and wrote the original numbers. And the reason for that is because it's asking about these numbers, not what I changed them into. So the first one stays the same, 1/10. The second one, now the absolute value of negative 12 hundredths is just 12 hundredths. 1/8 becomes, as a decimal, 125 thousandths. Notice I wrote it back as 1/8 for my final answer. And then 15 hundredths. Okay, same thing on number 7. Again, I changed them into new numbers and then rewrote them as their original numbers. Notice this number with an absolute value. Everything inside the absolute value lines became positive. However, this negative was not inside, so it stayed negative. So we've got negative 8 tenths, negative 75 hundredths, which was originally 3/4, and then 4 tenths, which was 2/5, and lastly 5 tenths. Okay, and then I rewrote those with the original numbers. So make sure you've got all that copied down, and let's go ahead and go on to the quiz. We've got 3 questions here. Copy and complete the statement using less than, greater than, or equal to. Remember, on quizzes they are in a different order, so you need to make sure each person's order is individual to their own quiz. So make sure you're paying attention to which problems you have. Okay, have a great day.